All right, guys, welcome to another video. Today, our objective is to build a PC with the input of chat. The irony is there's not a lot of people in the live stream yet, so it could be really awkward with some dead silence, but you know what? I've built the ability to chat and kind of ramble on about nothing. So the first thing we're gonna start out for sure with is we're gonna be using a Ryzen 5 9600X. Let me come over here and make sure you guys can actually see this. You can verify. There you go, you should be able to see that. Ryzen 5 9600X. So no matter what, this will be in the cornerstone of our build. Beyond that though, I'm kind of leaving it up to chat's decisions. So we do for sure have to build with, whoops, sorry there, this motherboard, because this is the motherboard we're gonna be using. It's the only AM5 motherboard that I have. But beyond that, we have the option of, this case, we can use this white case, the black case. I have a couple different coolers that we can pick from. I think I have an AM4, AM5 attachment for this Peerless Assassin. We've got this AIO here that we can use. I've got another AIO here. I'm gonna let chat pick the GPU as well. We've got a couple different options. I've got another one that's not on the screen as well. So really that's gonna be the premise of the entire video, is just having people come in, build the PC, and then the next day we're actually going to test the PC. So, with a Ryzen 5 9600X, that's pretty strong. I know some people classify it as mid or like mid-level, but it's kind of on the higher end, especially if like you're considering AM4 and, Intel 12, 13, 14th gen and back. 9600X is pretty strong. So it'll be interesting to see if chat chooses a slower GPU or if they pick a faster GPU. And then the video for the next day, we'll be testing some games on it just based on what chat picked, and that'll frame the video. So hopefully we've got some people in here that are going to decide that. Otherwise, it's gonna be me standing awkwardly looking at the camera a whole bunch and talking about things that you may not care about. Also, I should mention this is a live stream to start out, so I'm not gonna edit it. I don't have time, you guys. I'm too busy with life, but I can set aside an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever time it takes to make a video like this, put it out there. So if you find that I'm boring in some of these parts, please just fast forward it. It won't hurt my feelings. You can find the parts you're looking for. I will most likely talk about it at some point. Like, it really doesn't hurt my feelings. So let's go ahead and jump into it, see if there's anybody here in the chat that can kind of dictate this. Otherwise, I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what that is. I like it though. Okay, so you guys, here we are. We've got the Ryzen 5 9600X. So as I mentioned, we have to go with this B650E. This is the motherboard we're gonna be picking. And I'm gonna let you guys decide here. So let's pick the case next. We can either go with this case. You can't fast forward because I'm live. Well, yeah, you can't fast. Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh. So you guys want this case here. I don't care if we have to rip out the motherboard that's in there and all the wires and stuff. Do you want the white case? Keep in mind, I'm probably not going to put like the back and front panels on. So, or do you want this black case here? So we'll call it 1, 2, or 3. What case would you guys like to go? And if I don't have anybody in here to pick, like I said, we're gonna just stare awkwardly. And according to Paul, he can't fast forward because I'm live, which is true. So you're just gonna have to stand here, or I'm gonna have to stand here, and you're gonna have to stare at me say something that maybe you don't care about, or no, I don't know. While I'm waiting on chat, I did want to talk about like the direction that I think YouTube is heading in, which is a complete tangent, but maybe it'll give me enough time for them to decide. So we have option 1, option 2, option 3 here. What I think is happening with YouTube, if you guys aren't aware, is like they're now counting anybody. So like if you're on YouTube and you're on your mobile or whatever, if you scroll to a video and stop for a second, even if you don't click on it, it starts playing it. They're not going to count that as a view. So like we're in a spot with YouTube where people's view counts are going to skyrocket, but they're not actually going to matter because someone might have not even clicked on the video, not meant to watch it, like not been there. But like you might see people that had like 500 views before skyrocket up to like 10,000 or something crazy like that. And I say all that because I think we're in a transition spot now where, so YouTube has gone through this like lineage that back in the day, it was just people doing what people did. people weren't content farming. They weren't trying to aura farm or whatever that's called. Or like it was just someone uploading a video. They didn't intend to get millions or hundreds of thousands of views. It just existed. Also, again, chat 1, 2, or 3. Maybe I will cut this part out because like I don't know, or maybe I'll just keep it because some people don't care and they'll just skip forward for it. But in the beginning, like that was how it was. And then people started recognizing like, oh, I can clickbait things and people will click on it. And then it got past that where people got mad about clickbait. And then we got to a point where like professionalism was really good, like solid thumbnails, good editing. But now we're like in a spot with YouTube. Again, I know I'm rambling, but I have to because no one said anything in chat yet. Now we're in a spot with YouTube where like, because of AI, everybody has access to being professional. Everybody has access to, this is the perfect time to cut. This is like ChatGPT is just going to write your entire script and video for you. So we're in a spot now where like, it's going to sound weird, but I think the type of content that I'm doing here, and I've seen like some of the movements for it, is probably going to become more welcome than like the perfection, perfectly created content where it's like, there's stuff happening in the background, this text pops up, I think people are going to start craving like the realistic connection again because we're getting so far away from that where like everything is perfectly packaged. I think people are going to get sick of that. So anyway, that's just my rambling. Again, I'm waiting on chat to pick 1, 2, or 3. It's hard to do a video here with chat. It's funny because I'd have to probably wait. Usually we get like our peak concurrent viewer rate, whatever it's called, like an hour in. White motherboard is black case. Middle one should be the go-to. Give this man a like. It helps with the algorithm. There you go. White motherboard is black case. Middle one should be the go. I know that like this one, it's white and it goes with white, but I kind of wanted you guys to pick something else because this is what I had it built in already. I kind of wanted to see it like in this one or even this one. But again, I'm going to let you guys pick this. Well, there we go. That one. I'm going to let you guys pick. If you guys want to do the white, we'll do the white. But I've seen the white several times. So, but if white's the way, we'll do white because that doesn't take a lot of effort for me. I just have to put this in here, and then I haven't really done anything on the stream. So, yeah. Is white the way though? White motherboard is black case. Middle one should be the go-to. It's, But yeah, so back to the rant here. This is now becoming a harder stream than I thought, and I probably should have just like played some games beforehand or something, and then started the PC build because, like I said, people don't come in until later. Yeah, so we've got our cases here, but what I was saying is like I think that people are going to like the content where it's just like you're kind of just feeling like you're there hanging out with your friends. It feels like a community. It's not like someone paid $500 for a perfect video that was edited. The script is very clearly well put together. Like I think people are going to go for that. Now, if we want to go for DDR5 build though, I think the full ATX case. Well, they're all full ATX. They're all. Oh, are you talking? I mean, they're all full ATX. I think this is considered full ATX as well, isn't it? This one. But are you saying this one over here, option 3? I'm fine with that one too. That one currently has an Intel Core Ultra 250KF Plus. The big boy, I think that's what you're referring to, yeah. So that's the one we want to go with. Cool. Okay, so that means that chat has picked this option here. So we're gonna rip that out. I think the white one is an okay option. It's just I've done that and it's not gonna be very intriguing. So, okay, so we're gonna put this motherboard into that case. Now, the next option I'm gonna let you guys pick, ideally, I think we can make it fit. Well, let's pick the cooler. So we have the option of this. This is a Cooler Master cooler. It's just just an AIO. I think you guys can hopefully see it. There's a lighting that shows up here. I think the fans light up as well too, if that was something that we wanted to do. We have the cooler that comes with it, or that I was using already. This is an Aura. I hadn't even heard of that brand until I started using it. It's an Aura AIO. It's got the 3 fans up top here. Here, let me take you guys off so you can see that. It's got the 3 fans up top there. Or if you really, really, really want, guys, I can pull this Thermalright Peerless Assassin off and we can attach that to it. So I think the big boy is fine, what you're saying there. We'll use this case. But what do you guys think as far as the AIO cooler? So that being the case, then if we're gonna pick that one, I'm gonna go ahead and move some of these off really fast, get it out of the way, and we'll start building a PC. To one of the longest intros that I've ever done, because that took far longer than I expected. So I guess I need both of these up here. Got to lower this a little bit. This is also, I guess, the challenge that you face if you're trying to do something based on a live stream reaction, because there might not be anyone in here. And like I said, if I were to do this at like minute 60, there's probably a lot more people that are going to be involved. So that's probably low enough. All right, so back to the cooler. So I'll go ahead and start stripping this motherboard out. Actually, I've got to take off all the motherboards. So move the graphics cards out of the way really quick. And then we will get to pulling out all of the cabling. I guess I can do that really quickly. So while you guys are deciding on the motherboard, let me go ahead and lower you down here so you can see what in the world is going on. I have to pull this, or not the motherboard, but the cooler. I have to pull this thing out and detach it from the case here. This is actually my daily use computer, but it's funny though because I haven't been using this. What ends up happening a lot of times is like if I'm building PCs, I just use whatever I have most recently built or put in my SSD to, because I have to use I end up having to use my SSD a lot because it has all my games on it. I think this should just go here. So yeah, chat, we had 3 options of cases. We had this one, this white case over here. We had this black case as well. And this one here. Chat has decided to go with this far right case, so I'm going to take the motherboard out of it, and we're going to build a Ryzen 5 9600X. The next question that we have while I'm pulling all this apart is the cooler. So actually there are 4 options. So if you guys want, we have a Cooler Master cooler here, this option. I think it'll fit. We could also go with this Aura AIO. It's got 3 coolers up top. We have Thermalright Peerless Assassin, or we could even do a stock cooler if you guys wanted to. I wouldn't recommend running a 9600X on a stock cooler, but we do have a stock cooler if that's what you guys wanted to do. So yeah, that is where we are. It's like I said, it's also funny. It's ironic because a lot of times I get significantly more viewers than I have right now, but that's not the case this stream. The one where I need actual turnout is the one where we're not getting a lot of turnout or a lot of chat. So I don't fault you guys either. You know, there are a couple people watching, but like you might not care or want to talk while you're in here. So I don't blame you. So for now, we're just gonna sit here, build some stuff, take some things apart, and hopefully, you know, we'll get some folks to contribute to what they would like to see and build. I'm gonna raise you guys up really quickly as well, so that you can see a little better. We probably don't need to go that high. So that you can see what I'm doing in here. Just a second, everybody. All right, that should be good. Okay, here we are. So like I said, we're gonna pull the motherboard out of this one really quickly. And the other irony is like, this is probably one of those videos where it would be best done edited, because like I said, there's a lot of dead space that people aren't going to care about or want to see. But maybe some people do just like hearing me yammer on about absolutely nothing. So let's go ahead and pull out actually, you know what? I'm going to lift this up and pull the cables out really quick. But we're going to pull all this stuff out, and then we're going to build a Ryzen 5 9600X in here. And I'll let you guys decide the cooler and the GPU next. What is that? Oh, that a zip tie? Interesting. Those will be the next decision. So if you're in here and you are just now joining, what we're doing is building a PC. Chat is picking, they've picked this case. And from there, we're gonna next pick out a cooler. And then after that, did I not put a lot of screws into this one? Oh, I just did the upper parts. Okay, well, ooh, don't follow my rule here, guys. From there, we are going to pick out a GPU, and we'll have ourselves a 9600X PC. I did not do nearly enough screws in this PC. I'm gonna go ahead and take this cooler off really quickly, actually. That's probably gonna be my next step before I go and unscrew the motherboard. So what I'm doing now is taking apart a Ryzen or an Intel Core Ultra 250KF Plus, because that's what I have in this build that I have right now. We're going to take this apart and then drop in the B650E motherboard in here and build our PC from there. If there's anything you guys want to hear me ramble on about, though, that's, let me know. I was talking about kind of how I see the direction of YouTube going at some point. I don't know if it's going to be the exact, near future, but I think it's going to happen where people are going to get tired of perfect content. So, oh no. Oh, there we are. Okay. These things are so hard to get out. All right, this needs to be unplugged, but I don't remember where I plugged it in at. This, and I think we're plugged into a case here. Let me bring you guys a little closer too, so I can read what you guys are saying. Warzone, what game are you currently playing? Warzone and FS25. Me personally, I haven't really been playing games. In fact, I haven't really told my wife this yet because I don't want her to be like, no, you're not going to. But I'm actually giving up gaming outside of streaming for you guys. I'm going to try to do it for a while just because, the only time I actually play video games is, while I'm working, which I know sounds terrible. But I found that, it's really screwed up, my ability to concentrate. So, I'll play a game, work some. Play a game, work some. And, I want to get rid of that need. So, you thought that was the NZXT H3 Flow Micro. This case here, I don't even actually know what the brand is, to be honest with you. I have a friend that gave this case to me because I needed something that was a bit larger. And this is what he had. So, I genuinely don't know what this is. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Oh yeah, you guys can't see anything right now, can you? You hate they are a massive pain in the butt. I also need to move this box out of the way. This is really throwing me off. It's taking up my space to work. Where is this attached? Oh, okay, that's to the internal stuff. And what is this one attached to? It's attached to that, okay. Wait. I need that, don't I? Because that goes to the actual PC, but I have to pull it out for now, I guess. You guys, sometimes I make life really hard for myself. Okay, now we should be able to take this motherboard out. These cables are going to be the death of me. Okay, so now I should be able to take this motherboard out. I'm missing a screw. Or am I? I don't know what I'm missing. Okay, now we're gonna pull this motherboard out and we're gonna put the B650E motherboard in there. This is actually a really nice motherboard. Did I use the wrong size screw in this hole? Kind of feels like I did. I'll show you guys this motherboard when I pull it out too. It's a Z890 Pro. So, fun story here. I bought this on Newegg with the 250KF Plus. I think I'm gonna have to pull this cooler off. Dang, that stinks. Because I don't know if you guys are gonna want this cooler. Here, let me lower you guys down a little bit. You hate working on computers? Why is that? So chat, if you guys do want to use this cooler, we can. I just have to get a different mount for it, which is fine by me. But I have to pull this off to get the motherboard out. You want to shift your case from mid-tower to Lee and Lee A3. Small form factor is soothing. You know, the smaller stuff has kind of started to grow on me. The big differences, like the bigger ones, are they're so much easier to work on. So like I said, if you guys want, we have a couple different options. We can use this Thermalright Peerless Assassin cooler. And I'm glad that some of you are actually showing up, because now the video will be slightly less awkward. And maybe I will have to cut some of it out because no one's going to care. We have this Thermalright AIO. We have an Aura AIO. Never even heard of the brand until I got this PC. This one right here, that's an AIO with 3 fans. Or if you guys wanted to, we could use a stock cooler. I'm gonna let you guys decide. And then you can keep asking and I'll show them to you after we pull everything out. This is the RAM we're gonna end up using though. We've got some Corsair. This is the only DDR5 RAM I've got. 32 gigs of DDR5. It does have the RGB strip on it. Ooh, it might not anymore though. Just dropped it. Thank goodness it's just RAM. Nice setup. Small as the new average now. It kind of is. Can everyone like the stream? Oh, that's nice of you. Yeah, I mean, you guys don't have to like the stream. Bill, what's going on, man? How are you? I'm not a computer expert by any means. Cool, so we should, where did I put my screwdriver? We should be almost able to get this out. I think I've only got like 2 more screws in here. I'm also going to show you guys this this motherboard, because this motherboard is sweet. So what I was saying, back to what I was saying about this motherboard is, I bought this motherboard refurbished, I think it was. Used or refurbished, one of the two, whatever it is. Just RAM. Yeah, just RAM. I mean, I'm saying just RAM because RAM is like less likely to break when you drop it. If it was like a graphics card or a motherboard or something of that nature, it would be pretty scary. So I bought the 250KF Plus, which is the Intel Core Ultra that's in here for, I think it was $220, but I got a really good deal on the motherboard. It's normally supposed to be like $320 or something. I think I got it for like $150, maybe less. They sent it to me. It didn't work, and I was like, oh no, it's a refurbished motherboard. I'm not going to be able to get my money back, or I'm going to get my money back, but then I'm not going to be able to have a motherboard for this CPU. I don't know what to do. And they're like, we actually have one more in stock. We'll send it to you. So thankfully, these are all falling out. Thankfully, I was able to get, whatever. We're going to pull the motherboard out. Oh, there's still a screw in there. Thankfully, I was able to get the correct motherboard for it. But this thing is sweet. I don't ever buy like higher end, mid end. I guess this would probably be considered a higher end motherboard. I don't ever buy nice motherboards. But the moment I got one, I recognized like the niceness of having one. All right. So make sure I don't break it. So this is the Z890 Pro RS. It's a really nice motherboard. This is the 250KF Plus, but it has an NVMe slot here. It's got 2 of them. I think it had, it has one right here. Space for 2 more right there. It has 8-pin, so you can do a 4-pin and another 4-pin for overclocking. It's really nice. It has some RGB on it as well, but I've really enjoyed this thing. And it's got this, obviously, the large, hold on here, the large, VRMs and stuff for heat protection and power consumption, all that kind of things. So we're gonna move that out of the way. I'm gonna actually wipe some thermal paste off of stuff so it doesn't just sit there. So again, gonna let you guys pick, because now we have to take the, that motherboard out of the white case. You bet I won't get this running. It looks like a Dell. You took apart my GPU on video, was very nervous. Let's watch him. I'm not taking apart my GPU, definitely not. I am not taking apart my GPU. You are out of your mind if you think I'm doing that. Especially not on stream, because if you guys see me do it on stream, I will probably make mistakes. And I'm sure I could, but I don't have the pads to replace it. I'm gonna have to clean this off better later, but that'll do for now. Okay, so now that we have this thing emptied out, there is a screw back here. Here's just the empty case. So this is what we're gonna end up putting in the B650E. Also, I do appreciate some people, coming in, chatting, because that will make it easier to make the video. And next, we're gonna pick out what cooler we're gonna use, and then we'll do the GPU. So I now have to pull out the motherboard out of this one, and then we'll be ready to rock, you guys. Ready to rock and roll. All right, so this is, so to be honest with you guys, I bought this off of Marketplace, and the person that owned it, it kind of had some burn damage, or what looks like maybe their PSU or something blew up, but it ended up running fine. It was okay, and part of the reason I bought it was because it had 64 gigs of RAM, and he sold it to me at a really reasonable price. So you guys will have to let me know what CPU cooler you would like, because that will factor into what we're doing next. That is beautiful. It's a really big open case. I don't know what it is. I forget. I'm really bad with knowing cases and stuff like that. I do like this motherboard as well. It's a nice motherboard. So if you are watching this and you just joined the live stream, what we're doing is taking apart, or we're building a PC, and I gave chat the option to pick out what components we put in it. Where is this coming from? Oh, I have to pull this through here. Interesting. We're giving chat the option to pick out the parts and do those kinds of things. So we're building a Ryzen 5 9600X PC, and that's the only thing that I had selected besides the motherboard. I guess the RAM and the NVMe as well. But everything else I'm leaving up to them. Ooh, that was not on there well. Hopefully, sorry guys, hopefully we didn't damage that. That was not on there well at all. Okay, that should be everything. So now we're gonna go ahead and pull this motherboard out. I might have to pull this fan out. I can't tell if it's gonna come out on its own or not. The only problem with cases that other parts are white tend to be some other shade of white. Dude, that is so true. So the guy that I bought it from also was a smoker. So I don't know, I think it was because of him, but let me see if you guys can, actually I'll just take the phone off really quick. Let me show you here. So look at the color of white on the case, and look at the color of the white on the AIO fan. You can tell, like, it's basically gray at this point. So I'm with you. I'm not OCD, but like, and I'm also not like the tidiest person. You could ask my wife and she'll tell you the same thing. Like, he's a slob, but not slob. I'm just not like, I'm not organized. She's extremely organized, and that is not a strength of mine. White in a black case with ARGB stands out nicely. Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to do it, was put this white motherboard in there. This is an off-white as well. I don't know how well you guys can see that. And time also changes shades of white in ways that don't agree with my eyes. Yeah, time will do that. Smoke can affect the performance. It's not like as massive of a factor, but you can definitely get like build up over time of it, and but like it would be so, it'd have to be so much that it at some point it probably wouldn't affect the performance. It's just going to affect the aesthetics, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. But also, if you guys are joining, if you're just tuning in, what we're doing is building Ryzen 5 9600X, taking whatever the viewers request and putting it inside of that PC. So we've picked out the case. I picked out the motherboard, the RAM, and the NVMe, but you guys get to pick out the case, the cooler, and the GPU. And then we're going to test out the computer tomorrow. Sorry, I keep running to my desk. We're going to test out the computer tomorrow, and whatever you guys end up picking is going to determine like what kind of test we're doing, as far as like, oh, I paired the 9600X with a low-end GPU. My GPU broke. Stop hitting that, David. My GPU broke. Will this GPU hold me over? That kind of stuff. Tar on the RAM pins. Can it do that? I guess that would be a thing. Over time, you've seen GPU fans get gunked up, but it's sort of a toss-up on how much affects it. Yeah, it's a toss-up. Vaping around your PC is the biggest enemy, though, much worse than smoke. Unless I'm living in a chimney, it's okay. Yeah, if you lived in a chimney, that would definitely have, you know, an influence on it. It's funny because all of you people are in here now, which I am super grateful for. But the irony is, when I tried to start the video, there was no chat, so nobody could pick anything. So someone's gonna go watch this video like after the live stream when I re-upload it, and they're gonna be like, what is he talking about? He never did anything. He just sat there rambling on, which is, again, why I encourage people, if this is, you're watching this but not from the live stream, like, you should probably just skip forward to the parts that you care about, because it's not gonna be interesting for you. Or maybe you did want to hear my YouTube rant. People use their PC USB to charge their vapes. I did not know that. I use my PC to charge my phone. Oh, are we attached to something here? Come out, come on. All right, so here is our motherboard. Also, I'm giving this motherboard away. I'm giving this PC away actually in December, if you guys didn't know. Here, let me get a better shot. Here is the motherboard, B650E. There we are. We tapped the live stream. It started from the beginning of the stream. Oh man, really? Any USB hole is a goal? What? What does that mean? Oh, I don't have a box to put this on. Okay, we're gonna have to place it like this, unfortunately. All right, so we're gonna move this case out of the way. So really quickly, you guys, I need your help here to decide. I guess I'll bring you up really fast. I think you can see me here. Really quickly here, you guys, we have to decide what cooler we're going to use before we throw this thing in here, because that can make a difference. It can make an impact. So if you guys want, I will use the one that was in that case. It's got this 360, so it's Aura, it's white, and then it has a 360 millimeter fan. If you guys want that one, oops, sorry, that was really loud. We can use the Thermalright Peerless Assassin if you guys want. Or we have this, ow, get out of there. This Thermalright cooler. Whatever you guys pick, I'm fine with. This one is a little dirty because I haven't cleaned it. And this was, if you guys haven't watched it, I did a video a while back where I bought a box of parts for like $315 and it was a steal and that was in it. So you guys let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and start dropping the motherboard in there, but it will make my life easier if you guys pick out something sooner than later, because it does make a difference on like how I structure the layout. So you're not a fan of liquid coolers. A fan cooler works just as good, has less points of failure, but that's just you. AOs are like air conditioners. Sooner or later, they all leak. I've never had one leak, but I'm seeing you guys say that you want to do a fan cooler. So we'll do the Thermalright. It's a bit more challenging, simply because I have to take off the brackets, but it should be okay. So we'll do the Thermalright. That one won't take too much effort. Isn't that? Yeah, that's what I had in there already. Liquid cooler, white for aesthetic, black-white combo. I see, I like that. I kind of like that personally too. You say stay with white AIO, it fits the case and look. So we're going with, this is the case we're gonna end up using right here. This one. Whoops, you guys can't see that. There we go. So we're using this case. So we're gonna put a white motherboard in a white case. But the next question is the cooler. So the Thermalright, this is a tower, this is a fan cooler. It's just gonna have two fans on it. They are ARGB, so you know they'll have colors, that kind of stuff. But I'm seeing a big mixture here. So I think I've seen more tower coolers, which would make my life easier because then I don't have to take the fans out up here. If I have to take these fans out, that makes life a lot more complicated. So I'm fine with that. Let's go ahead and grab our motherboard. Thankfully, this one has an I/O shield that's built in as well. I'm a big fan of that. I think built-in I/O shields are very nice. And, you know, when you're building these, a lot of people will tell you make sure you have USB mounts in the correct points and correct places. I don't disagree with that. I think it is important, especially like if you have one in a spot that's not one, you can end up pressing on the motherboard. So I am just verifying some of these really quick so that I don't damage my motherboard. I don't love doing this part, but I would recommend that you do it. I think I need to get some pliers real quick. I think I have some up here. My old rusted out pliers, friends. We're gonna have to use that to remove this one right here. There we go, that was easier. Wait, it didn't move. It didn't move. I don't think it's moving at all. Oh, I scratched the case there, friends. That's okay. You'll have to forgive my inability to work. All right, I am thankful for all of you guys. I know that, like I said, there wasn't a lot of people in the beginning for chat, but that's why I encouraged, like, if you came from the not live version of this, again, just checking like where I have screw holes in here and comparing it so that I'm in the right spots. Okay, that should be good. I'll add in those other screws really quick. You know, I am always just grateful for the communication. It's just like this one video where like I needed people there in the beginning. Like I said, I probably should have just started the video because people tend to show up, you know, usually an hour is like when chat starts getting most involved and active. And then like if I make it to 2 hours, that's not going in at all. If I make it to 2 hours, that's when I like have a lot of people. But obviously I'm not gonna do that because I can't sit around just talking for 2 hours about nothing and then start a video. Is that gonna go all the way in? I might just not use that then. If I can't get that to stay in, I'm not gonna bother. We can just get away with doing 6. I'm not gonna force it. All right. So while we're doing this, you guys tell me about how your day's going. Oh, we gotta go in this way. What you enjoy about PC building, if you built your own PC, that kind of stuff. That way I can have something to chat about with you guys. Nice, that's in there well. So we only have 6 screws to put in, but that's okay. Motherboard manufacturer should give you a paper template for the standoffs. Yeah, that is probably something that would be nice, so that you don't just have, but the other thing is like, you know, I'm only going through this because I'm putting it into a completely different like PC case. We're swapping it around, that kind of stuff. But like most people, they build a PC one time and then they're done. Or like you might upgrade within a 3 to 5 year period, but you're probably not swapping out a motherboard and doing all those other things. So I don't know. This white might look nice on the white. I feel like it's going to be drowned out by the black though, unfortunately. I could be wrong. I think this case is too large. I think it's too large here. Let me bring you guys a little closer so you can see what I'm doing again. Only takes that one time to make a big mistake. You were very right. Yeah. If you put it on like a standoff and there's not a spot to screw in there, you know, that pressure on the motherboard could warp it. You could hit some pins. You could do something that will destroy it. So you were very right. All right, this last one up top here. Is not going in. So is that not on, or is this not the right screw? Oh, I can't really fit my finger there. This must not be the right screw. What is going on here? Sorry, I know you guys are probably just staring at my head right now. Okay, come on. That is not the right screw, I'm guessing. Let's fix that. Oh, my hand does not want to fit in here. I just use a regular junky screwdriver. You guys can see it right here. At some point, I need to invest in something that has magnetic, that can grab things a little better, because this is always the hardest part for me, is like putting a screw in to this top left corner where the CPU is. Wow, this is not on. That or it's stripped. One of the two. There we go. Have we chosen the CPU yet? Yes, we're doing a Ryzen 5 9600X. So a gamer that builds PCs but doesn't game, how does that happen? I'm still going to game on stream for you guys. But beyond that, I'm going to try and take some time off. So I'll show you really quickly here. We're going to drop you down. We do need to take off these screws here, because this was for the other mount. So I have to figure out, oops, sorry friends. I have to figure out what I need to take off. I think these just unscrew from the back plate. They do. Yes, Thomas, we're doing a Ryzen 5 9600X. So far we picked the case, the cooler, and then after this, we're going to pick out the GPU. So that's the next big step, is picking out the GPU. I need to not lose these, but I don't know where to put them so that I don't lose them, because I probably will. We need AM4 for this cooler, which I happen to have. Also, you guys are going to laugh, but I'm going to teach you how to do something that's kind of ghetto, but you can get away with, because I've done it. I've used it several times incorrectly, and it's still okay. So, do you have to do it the way I'm about to do it? No. Will it work? Yes. So, I happen to only have 3 screws for the mounting equipment for this, for this AM4, AM5, or Peerless Assassin. I only have 3 screws, and you can still work. It still works. I've done it several times. So we're going to go ahead and mount the cooler really quick. Building is just as satisfying. You don't have to be a gamer. I mean, I like video games still. I enjoy playing. But like I said, I don't really get to play a whole lot anyway. So I'm just kind of taking this time to let my brain detox from it, because I spend too much time. Rehanks, how are you? I'm guessing it's probably midnight for you. You need to get some sleep, my friend. My streams are a bad time for you. We do need to put the CPU in there as well. So if you've never put in AM5, 1 a.m. at night, yeah. So if you've never put an AM5 before, they actually don't have pins like DDR4 does. You see how there's nothing sticking out here? It's just flat. And also, I'm the world's worst at getting thermal paste on things. So you guys can probably see like thermal paste there. So I'm terrible at it. AM5 is a little different because it doesn't have... Come on, let go. I forgot how to do this one. Is it not? Yeah, I should just unlatch. Okay, so AM5 is slightly different. What was the GPU you chose? We have not picked the GPU yet. Because it doesn't have any of these pins here. It just goes into the slot itself. It is the same though, as far as like in all of them, there is a triangle that will guide you to where this triangle goes. As long as you put that triangle in there correctly. Oh, I wish I had a B580. As long as you put that triangle in there correctly, all you do, I can bring you guys in a little closer so you can see it as well. All you're gonna do is just plop it in there, and it's easy as pie. Whoops. Hey, what are you doing? Orientation is locked. Hello? There we go. Okay. Sorry, that was weird. So all you do, like I said, is just match up this triangle here with the triangle down there. So all I'm gonna do is just place it in there, nice and easy. Make sure that it's actually in there, not moving. It's kind of hard to do that while looking at the phone. Is there something in there? I think there's something in there, or the pins or the motherboard got bent. That's not good. Hold on, friends. Please no 9060 XT 16 gigabyte. Hold on, you guys. Am I having some issues, or is it just because I'm trying to do this with one hand? It could be because I'm trying to do it with one hand and it's making my life complicated. Huh. It kind of feels like the motherboard is bent. Is it bent? That's not good, because this is the motherboard we're supposed to be giving away. No, I don't think the pins are bent. I think the motherboard is warped. Game over. It might be. It might be, guys. It might be. It shouldn't be a problem, though. It's possible that I've done something wrong here, so, you know, let's not dismiss that. You can't really bend pins on an AM5. It's kind of hard to bend pins on them. Oh man, it sure does feel like it though. It sure does feel like it. I'm telling you, I think the motherboard is warped. I haven't used it in a while. Maybe there are some. That's bad, you guys. Next. Yeah, it might be next. Shouldn't you clean the CPU? The CPU doesn't really need to be cleaned. I mean, it's okay. You can't really do much for the bottom. I don't know. I'm thinking that we've possibly run into some bent pins, or I mean, I'll close it and see what happens. I don't know. That might not be going in. Okay, I think it worked. I think we got it to latch. I guess we're gonna find out because it's in there and it's not moving. You see about 20 pins bent? It's not bent pins. It's thermal paste. It's thermal paste. But maybe you're right. I guess we're gonna find out really quick. If it doesn't turn on, then we've got some bent pins. We're gonna find out, friends. That would kind of stink because I'm gonna need a new motherboard. Yeah, in this area over here. Yeah, I saw what you were saying. We'll find out. We're gonna find out here in a second if it's gonna work or not. If that's the case, I'm gonna have to buy a new motherboard, which isn't quite as bad because they've gone down in price a lot, so that's not too bad. We'll see if it turns on. I think I'll probably have to plug it into a monitor for you guys as well, because if we plug it into a monitor, we'll then see if it has a display, because it might turn on, but it might not work. So we're gonna install the tower cooler now. I think these are all correct. I always forget. Is it this way? Let's see. It sits on here like this. Goes in like that. Yeah, it's like that. Hope it doesn't ruin the CPU. It could. I mean, it might. We could be in trouble. We could be in trouble. And then the other thing is, I always have to remember if it goes this way. All right, what do I do with my screwdriver? Here we go. So what I was saying earlier was that, like, even if you don't have all the screws on this, 3 is enough. It'll run with 3. You already went further with that problem than I would have. It's the thing though, like, oh, that is not the right screw for this. Is it? Oh, it is, okay. The thing is though, like, this isn't my primary PC, so like, it would really stink if that were the case. What is going on with this? Why is it not going in? Yeah, it's not my primary PC, so like it would really stink. This is the one I'm going to end up giving away. That does not feel right either. Guys, I'm having all kinds of struggles here. This must be too big. We are on a struggle bus at the moment. There it is. Okay, so that was the wrong screw. This also can happen if you have a lot of parts to a lot of things and you're not sure which ones you need. So what I was saying earlier is that if you have, geez, sorry friends. Better no pins to bend. I've had some AM4 issues. Yeah, AM5 is probably less ideal. I've had bent pins on an AM4 and I bent it back. AM5 though, I'm not as certain. Sounded like a Capcom. I'm sorry, you guys accidentally kicked the stand. Is this not the right screw? Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. So I've done this several times. Well, I don't want to say push through it with no worry. So I'll pull you guys off here. So down here, you can see that I don't have a screw, but I've got all the other 3 screwed in. You can actually do this. You don't have to do that, but like you can make do with it. I've done it several times before, and like the cooler will make enough contact and it'll keep it fine. Like if you're throwing your PC around or like, you know, just straight WWEing, like slamming it and stuff, it's not going to stay on there, but we shouldn't have any problems. All right, so let's go ahead and get some thermal paste, and then we'll install that really quickly. What time are we at? 2:34. Sorry, I keep kicking you guys here. We have the cooler over here. All right. What kind of like thermal paste appliers are you guys? I've done like a lot of different methods. Oh, this thermal paste is getting pretty chunky. That's probably going to be too much. Yeah, that part is junk. Oh, make sure I don't kick you guys again. Oh, I'm going to keep that actually. Let's see, I probably need, this should actually be enough. Just another little dab right there. This thermal paste gets dried out because my office is so hot. So what kind of like appliers are you guys? Do you do like a dot, a P, X method? I would wait to put the heatsink on just to see if you post. I mean, that's true. That is true, but at the same time, like, it's all right. This isn't that big of a deal. It's a pain in the butt, but it's not that pain of a butt. Not that major of a pain. All right, screwdriver. You know what, though? I probably should have put my RAM in first. Now that I think about that, the RAM might have been a better idea. Only because it's a big sink. I mean, that is true. No, there's plenty of space. We can get the RAM here in a minute. I will wait to put the fans on, though. That's probably a good idea, is I'll wait to put the fans on this thing. We'll wait to put the fans on. Oh, this side I didn't put it. Yeah, so when I bought this motherboard, I bought a full PC off the young man, and I was slightly concerned because of the price, and like he didn't have a lot of history on his Facebook profile. So like there were concerns with it whenever I bought it. Like the PSU looked like it had shown signs that it had blown up. I'm always the worst at screwing these down. I have this big weakness of just over tightening one side on accident and then not tightening the other side quickly enough. It does if you have the fan on. It does if you have the fan on, but if you don't have the fans on it, it's okay. All right, are we actually in this now? I can't tell. I don't think it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, gently go in here. If you've ever tried to put on a cooler of any kind, you would know the frustration that I'm facing right now. That like, it's so annoying to have to like gently find it on one side and then try to apply it on the other. I've had to do this so many times now. This is, it's very, very frustrating. Is it in on this side? Holy cow. Just go on. Is that it? Did we get it? I think we got it. All right. No, we still didn't, you guys. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. There we go. I think we're on both. That, or I need to open this up. Maybe I need to go to the outside. Is that what it is? Is this too close? That's the other thing, like if you're building from used, is I think this might need to go out. I need to flip these over really quick. I guess that's what it is. I need to flip these over. I think. It doesn't feel like it's connecting. Maybe I'm just losing my mind here. I'm gonna block the camera for a second. No, it's definitely making a connection, so I need to retighten that screw. This is the other thing, like if you're building used, it doesn't come with a manual, and sometimes you just have to remember how to do stuff, and that can tilt you like there is no tomorrow. So just be aware that like if you are building used, you might have to go online to like find out how to do things. Because I didn't have an instruction manual when I got this thermal right. Yeah, you can push down on it and feel it where it needs to be. Did I get it? Oh my gosh. There it is. I just don't like to put too much force because then you can actually break it. All right, now we have it. I probably had like 5 people click off here because they're going, what is he doing? He can't get on a fan. All right, next we will do the RAM. We should be able to get this thing done pretty quickly though now because we're cruising along here. So everything else should hopefully be honky-dory. You guys will get to pick the GPU. We're gonna put the RAM in. Does it go this way, I'm guessing? Is that the correct way? I think it is. Cool. Come on. There we go. Yep. One stick. You have the same heatsink? Oh, okay. Nice. It's also kind of hard to do this. There we go. While trying to chat. So I'm going to just throw in an NVMe. This isn't the one I'm going to use tomorrow when we test the computer and actually like run it and do stuff, but I'm just going to throw this one in for now. So we're just going to throw in a 0.5 terabyte. You just screw for that. And then after this, I'm pretty close, so we should be able to pick out the GPU soon, chat. I didn't anticipate there being so many mistakes in this, so for better or for worse. Oh man, I hate these little screws. This is why I also said I need a magnetic screwdriver. For better or worse, you know, whoever ends up watching this in not live is going to be like, what is this guy doing? Why is he making so many mistakes? My poor head. What's the specs so far? We have a Ryzen 5 9600X, 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM. We're gonna do 2 terabytes, but for now I'm just putting in a 0.5 terabyte NVMe and also struggling. And you guys have to realize, like, if you're trying to do this on camera, it does add a weirdness to it because this is not the angle I would normally be standing at to put this in. So it does add, and I think this is probably, and I've talked about this before, like this is probably why some creators don't want to do, I guess that's not the right screw. That must be the problem. Some creators like don't want to do streams of building, or because then like their pride takes a big hit. They're like, oh, I messed that up, or people are going to think like I'm not a good builder, but like I'm not a good builder. That is not my strength at all. I am impatient. I am like uneducated on some things. Many of you guys in chat are smarter than I am about building PCs, but like it's something that you have to do if you're going to be in the PC building space. So, and to like add the live stream factor in, it does make like a small difference. So, like I said, this is not where I would be normally standing or how I would normally be doing this, but I will admit I usually have a hard time getting those tiny screws in. Okay, so here's what we have so far. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you guys down. It would. I know I need to spend the money on it at some point. I just haven't. All right, so here's what we have so far. I am going to, before I put the fans on, the heatsink, I am going to make sure that it actually works. So we're gonna go ahead and wire it up. While I'm wiring it up, I'm going to let you guys make a decision here so we can pick out the GPU. So we've got several different options for you guys. So we want a 9600X with a 2060. We've got a 2060. Now keep in mind, and I guess I should pull you guys up here for a second. Keep in mind that whatever you guys pick will be like the premise of what we're testing. So if you want to pick a budget GPU or a low-end GPU out of all of these options, like to know, hey, I have a nicer computer. If my GPU falls apart on me, can I use a low-end, GPU? That's fine. That, I'm okay with that. If you want to pick the nicest GPU out of this list, that's also okay. So the 2060, we have an RX 580. I think, yeah, that way. We have a 1660 Super, just a single fan card. We have a 3060 Ti, that one's in a different PC, so if you want that, we can do that as well. Or we have a 9070 XT. So I will let you guys decide what we're gonna throw in there. I can repeat that all if you need me to. But let's go ahead and start putting the cables on this. Hopefully the CPU pins aren't too bent and we're not gonna be completely demolished at this point, because that would be really sad if we were. So very, very sad if that was the case. I've got too much junk in my office at this point, you guys. All right, move this over here. Okay, so we're gonna start wiring this bad boy up to get it to run. 9070 XT or 3060 Ti, put two GPUs in. That is an interesting approach. I don't even think it would fit, would it? I mean, 9070 XT, I guess you could go there. I don't think, don't you have to have like something specialized to do that? To my knowledge, you do. Okay, this is the fans. I think I need to go into these fans then, don't I? Are these all plugged in? You guys, I've made my life very hard. For no reason. For no reason whatsoever. Okay, so is this, I have to figure out the fan configuration really quickly, you guys, to make sure I haven't completely messed it up. I think we're okay. 800 watt power supply. Oh yeah, I do have to put another PSU in here. I completely forgot about that part too. Yes, I'll have to strip out. Do I have? Where is my power supply? Oh, it's in the other PC I'm using. Dang, so I'm gonna have to, ooh, this is gonna be rough. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna have to completely rebuild a PC tomorrow just to work, or work off my laptop, but I don't really wanna do that. Not a big fan of working on laptops. All right, let's try and wire everything up real quick. You know what's crazy is if this doesn't work, I know for 1000% that there are gonna be like some comments when I upload this, because I'll upload it anyway, even if like I fail, I don't care. There's 100% going to be comments in here like, this guy has no clue what he's doing. Why are you like offering PC advice? Why are you like on this? And that's okay. I know that that's a possibility. It's the only thing you can think of. Don't take your work PC apart, man. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I work from whatever's built pretty much, to be honest with you. I don't really care. All right, what are these? Reset, HDD LED. Is there a power switch? There we go. Okay. So we have that right there. Power LED goes at the top. And then we have power switch. And then it should be HD. Oh wait, which one is reset? That goes at the bottom of this one. I probably should have put that on first.
That's okay. Is that a fifth pin there? It is, so that goes right here. Yeah, I need to unplug. I need to unplug those real quick. There we are. Is this HDD? There we are. And there we are. Cool. Did you call for allocation? What have I missed? It's possible we have a bent pin, so we're going to find that out. I think everybody's picking the 9070 XT. From what I've gathered, we're going to go with the 9070 XT, which is fine, because I've actually used this pairing. That was my everyday PC for a while. Where's the USB on this? USB. Is that it? That's not it, is it? I guess that is it. The back of this case is a disaster. It is an absolute disaster, friends. All right, is it here? This is also really hard to see in this lighting. I think that must go this way then. USB. Like I said, doing it on film is very different because normally there are like tips and tricks that I would tell or I would use to see things better, or like I want to make sure that you guys have access to vision, but right now that's making my life hard. So I might not let you see this part because I can't see the friggin' pins. This is the right thing, right? USB. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just a blind old man at this point. Come on. All right, I'm gonna bring it closer to me. Sorry, friends. I need to be able to see this because I cannot tell where this plug-in is at. Come on. Is this not the USB? I swear it is. It's not. It's not, you guys. I'm trying to plug into the wrong thing here. Where is their USB header on this? Apparently I am lost in the sauce. I guess that's it. That's a weird one. Okay. That could be why. Great GPU. The 9070 XT is a very nice graphics card. It is starting to get some of the love it deserves, but it is going to receive a lot of respect later on down the road when people especially when it was at like closer to its MSRP. At this point, it's gotten pretty expensive, so I understand like if there's more animosity towards it, but it is a very, very, very strong. Oh, that's this USB. Okay, that's a weird spot for that. Hopefully I didn't bend any of those pins. No, that can't be it. Also, when you work with, that's where it is. That's the USB, okay. When you work with a ton of different motherboards, like trying to figure it all out can be really tough. So just be aware, that's not it either. Usually the USB is over here. I don't know how well you guys can see that. You have the 5070 Prime, it looks just the same as the 9070 XT. Oh, nice, okay. Yeah, I had a 5070 as well, but it was a, where is this USB cable at? I swear this one has one. So that's the 3.0, and that one is, that can't be it, right? Chad, I'm losing my mind here. Does it not have, is that the header that it goes with? It doesn't use this one? That's the other thing, like if you have a motherboard, like usually you would have a user's manual, but I don't have one in front of me right now, so I don't know if that actually goes into something or not. And what is this? This is a fan. So we need to plug in, I think I've got all the fans wired up. So we need to plug into a fan. Do I go with this fan up here? CPU, that's the CPU fan, so we'll just go with the fan down there. System fan. Yeah, one of these. So yeah, it's one of those things where like, especially like if you were to just buy new parts and build a PC, easy. But if you're like, hey, let's just do this, you're probably going to get a little lost like I am here. A little confused at times, but that's okay because it happens. All right. I guess we're just going to live without this USB. I'm going to go grab the power supply really quick because that's what we need to put the 9070 XT in. So I've got to pull it off this other PC. I guess we can move this one out of the way. Whew. Now imagine it doesn't start, you guys. Imagine we go through all of these steps and our PC doesn't work. How frustrating would that be? Let me make sure you guys can see this. Yeah, you can see it kind of. All right, we're gonna pull the GPU or the power supply out of this thing. AMD really closed the gap with NVIDIA for the 9000 series lineup. I think so too. I think that I wasn't a massive, I mean, I didn't really know enough about PCs, I guess, to have like an educated conversation before. So like the 90 series is where I started joining in on gaming or just GPUs, I guess, in general. Like my last GPU that I built was a 1080. So like you can tell how long it had been since I have done anything. Oh, I hate these. It had been quite some time. So, you know, I'm not the person that like can have the most educated conversation. Like especially like if people are talking like 6700 XT and stuff, like I know that there's some deals in that space where some of those are like 3060 Ti, 3060 levels, and they're just like amazing and they don't get enough credit or love. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out this power supply from this one because this is the power supply we're gonna have to use. I think it's plugged in SATA 2, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So here we are. You had to get a USB 3 adapter. I think this one might need an adapter. I think it didn't work before. I did use the 9600X for a while, which is also, oh, that's not a screw, which is also slightly concerning that perhaps there are bent pins in it now, because that's going to make my life really hard because that's supposed to be part of the giveaway PC, so I might be spending more money on that, unfortunately. But, you know, you guys are an awesome community, so I am not going to take that for granted and like try and cheap out, because that's what I've already promised. So we're going to do a 9600X regardless of whether this one works or not. So there you have it. 9600X and a 3060 Ti is going to be the next giveaway PC in December. So if you want to sign up for that, you can actually go to the newsletter. Let go. You can go to the newsletter, and as long as you've been on for 4 months, and you're in the United States, you do have to be 18 years or older as well. Jason, you caught a live stream, but you gotta go pick up the kids in 15 minutes, dude. You gotta go be a parent, go be a dad. That's completely okay. My daughter was on the live stream yesterday, and she came in here telling everyone about her first day of school and how she hit a boy. So it's a thing. Wait, is the fan upside down? Yes, it is. Okay. It's a thing. Being a parent is a thing that you cannot avoid. So you gotta do what you gotta do. What is in the way of this? There we go. Live stream. Oops, you're all good. All right. Come on in and get yourself screwed in, power supply. I hope you're doing okay. I guess I could probably go down on this for you, so you guys can see what I'm doing. This is potentially going to be a glorious disaster if those pins don't work. We are almost done with a Ryzen 5 9600X, 32 gigs of DDR5, and we're going to be putting in a 9070 XT. The problem is the 9600X might have some bent pins. And I didn't know about it. And I don't know how it came about. Unfortunately, because I was using this GPU, or I was using this build 4 months ago or so. So we're gonna find out if I have some major problems here. Because like I said, the 9600X is what I'm giving away for the newsletter subscribers. Can you guys see this? Do I need to go up? I might need to go up. So that could really kind of stink. You're sorry it was you? You know what? I'm going to forgive you this one time. But do it again. Do it again, and I'll probably just forgive you anyway because, you know, it's all right. Powerful rig. Yikes on the bent pins. We'll see. We'll see if it actually is a problem, if there is really, you know, an issue here, or, you know, if it's just nothing. Which it could be. It could just be nothing. So I've talked about this before. I know you guys are getting to see my head a lot. When you're going to put in things like the CPU power here, I like to pull the top off. You can just usually move this dust case thing. Everything is a challenge for me today. All right, you can usually just move this out of the way. And then when you push this in up here, you can see from the top better through all these empty holes. Whoops. And then you can line up and push this in. This is really hard, especially if you don't have tiny hands like I do, to do if you've already got everything else installed. There are people that do this in a better order than I do. We might have to bend it this way. So, you know, I wouldn't take my approach to it as the best, because there's probably some people that, which way is the right way? This way? I'm gonna have to do it while not showing you guys because I can't see right here. There's some people that do it much more efficiently than I do. But this area is so hard. To put the screw up here into the motherboard and to put the CPU's power supply in, both very challenging things. So if you have a good way of doing it, or you know of a way, tell us in the chat, please, because I always struggle with this part as well. Come on. My hand can't fit because of this cooler. I should have put the cooler on last. Didn't think about it. Did not think about it, guys. All right, come on. Oh, this is painful. I'm damaging my hand. I'm gonna have to use my right hand. It's understandable you have thin head or hair. I'm older than you think I am. You run cables from motherboard to PSU. Oh, that's smart. This is a semi-modular though, so I can't get away with that. That's smart though, I'll have to try that. Oh, there it is. Yeah, thin head of hair. I have kids and I'm older than you think I am. That's a big part of it, is I have kids and I'm a lot older than you think I am. Also, I just have a terrible head of hair. So, you know, it's a curse. It's an unfortunate curse that I live with. Okay, that should go here. Right here. Is that gonna go in? There we go. You're 40? You're 40 years old? I am 35. Is that everything? I think that's everything besides the 9070 XT. Cool. Let's put that in here. I need 2 screws to put that in, and then we are rocking and rolling, friends. Well, potentially rocking and rolling. We could be in a world of pain. Oh wait, you know what? I also actually need, I think I need to plug in this thing, because this does run through SATA, doesn't it? Right? Yes, it does. Okay. Oh. And this thing needs to be plugged in too. Okay. Need to remember that. So SATA, and you guys can't see it. I probably should have shown you what I was doing. And another RGB, go right here. I would say at this point, I'm 40% confident that this thing is going to turn on, which may be too high. It might be higher than I should be giving myself, but 40%. Matrix looks like he lost his. Matt Rich looks like he lost his years ago. I mean, it happens, man. Modular makes sense in some circumstances, but in any case it has a hidden PSU basement, it's a great opportunity to save money by getting non-modular. I mean, it is a lot cheaper. It is significantly cheaper to go non-modular. Oh. This all has to get plugged in too. I guess we're just gonna run this down here. Or do I need to come back here? You know what? I don't really care if that fan works. You guys care if this fan works? I don't really care if this fan works. We'll figure that out later. I don't care if the fan works. The rest of the fans and stuff, we just want to see if it turns on. Don't blow and pop your CPU. I've never had an issue with something like that before, so I don't think we're going to have that problem, but we could. We could. All right, let's bring you guys up real quick, actually. I'm going to put in the GPU really fast, the 9070 XT that you guys requested, and then we're going to attempt to start the computer. Oh, hopefully it'll go, because if it doesn't, that's going to be a sad day. Also, you guys, thank the Lord, the good Lord above, that you guys picked out this case, because if you hadn't, it's very possible that this 9070 XT might not fit, which would have been a major problem. A very major problem. So, Quiet Gamer 618, how are you? Listen, you guys, as well, if this thing does not work and you guys want to help me financially recover, you can. You could become a member on the channel, or you can go to the newsletter and donate through there, or you can super chat on this if you really wanted to. You don't have to, but if you wanted to, and somehow now I've got bent pins on my 9600X and motherboard, that would be an option. Of course, you know, I'm probably the dummy that did it, but we're gonna find out in a second here. So, all right, last thing is we have to put in the power supply to the graphics card real quick. Might want to keep the GPU out just in case. I mean, I don't think it'll do anything that bad, but I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I don't even put the side panel on for anything ever. I'm the world's worst at that. I leave my computers panelless because I always swap out components for videos and stuff, so it's not something I even do. Because I know that, like, I'm not going to get to a place where I'm gonna build a PC. Hey Matt, welcome, thank you. I wasn't like 100% serious that you guys should join up, but I'm very grateful for that. Wait, where's the other part of this? Welcome to the membership. I'm still working on the emojis, the badges, and all of that. I know you're newer to the channel. One of the things that I have done for a long time and people seem to enjoy is I do use like building blocks and stuff. Well, you're a parent as well. So I use like building blocks and stuff as like sag brackets. Because I build in so many different cases with so many GPUs and things. So like I just have to put whatever fits in there, and like I don't have the money or the time to go out and buy customized like 10 different GPU sag brackets or anti-sag brackets. So I've used building blocks a lot, so that I know that that's going to be one of the things. I think I've got that set up already. I think we're done. I think we're done, chat.
I think we're done. Like I said, I don't care about this fan. I'll figure that out tomorrow or whatever, whenever we go to test it. And I will put the fans on here. Would I consider getting an open air test bench? I would. I would. I would consider doing it. I know aesthetically people like the view here, but I would consider getting an open air test bench because I know that like it does make the process go significantly faster. So it is something that I would consider. I think I need to drink some water real quick, guys. Sorry, I know that's right next to the mouse or the mic. Probably really loud and uncomfortable for you guys, so I apologize. GPUs are so fragile. They are. They can be. All right, guys, I'm going to set up the monitor really quickly, and we're going to attempt to power this bad boy on. I guess if anything else, if that GPU explodes, hopefully the virality of that video will pay for a new one. that would be the hope, at least. One of the fun and worst aspects for PC building is cable management. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to bother with it right now. All right, we're going to raise this up a little. I'm going to bring you guys up, and we're going to get to the moment of truth. Are there bent pins? Is it actually bent pins? Is it a warped motherboard? Are we going to have problems? Are we going to be stressed out here? We're gonna find out. This kind of makes me feel, Matt, maybe you can appreciate this because you're, about the same age as I am. Maybe you can, remember this. But back in the day, it does. Yeah, it does it. I don't remember. I haven't used this one in so long. Back in the day, there was this thing called Dragon Ball Z. Don't know if you guys remember it, but every time it would say, next time on Dragon Ball Z, and I feel like we're on that next time on Dragon Ball Z part where we're about to find out what's going to happen. Or how funny it would be if I just stopped the stream right here and I said, all right, guys, that's it. Can I look yet? We haven't done it yet. We haven't done it. Okay. All right, guys. Are we gonna try this? Come on, you're not that old in your 20s. There you go, Kakarot. Yeah, you know. He knows what I'm talking about. All right, guys. Let me make sure we've got this set up. I think we have enough plugged in. The monitor's all I really cared about, so we're gonna see if there's a post. I guess I'll put you guys here. So we're gonna press the button, see if anything lights up. All right, tell me in the chat. I think there's a 40% chance that it's gonna turn on. What do you guys think? Before I go ahead and power it up, 40% chance. What are your guys' predictions here? 40%. What do you guys think? I want to see what your thoughts are. I know I'm probably going to see like 5%, 10%, 100%. Dio coming in. Dio, I don't know if you've been here. We might have some bent pins on the Ryzen 590 on the motherboard. 20, sorry, it's okay. I know that we're going to get some 10s and some low stuff in there, so it may not start. All right, that's probably enough predictions. Let's go ahead and let's try. Let's see if it powers on, if things start going, and if we get a post. Okay, moment of truth. 3, 2, 1. Oh? Okay. None of the fans are on. None of the fans are on, so obviously I didn't wire the fans correctly. But it's not going. Hold on. The fans are irrelevant. I'll fix that. I think it's memory training. We might need to do the fans again. Yeah, I think you're right, Dio. I think it's memory training. Yeah, it's most likely memory training. I assume that's what we're going through right now. But I also don't know, because none of the fans are running, if I need to you know what, let me take this out. If that's going to cause it to not start. So maybe I can plug in here. Let's see if that'll work. Will this one work? Give me power. Come on. Uh-oh. Yeah, but the problem is the fans aren't connected. I messed it up somewhere in the back. This thing is such a disaster, so. Oh. I saw something there. It tried. CPU fan header. Oh, Matt was the clutch. Matt was the smart one there. Yep, let's turn that off and plug that in. We don't have a CPU fan header. That could be a major problem. Matt was the smart one there. He kept us going. So I guess I'm gonna have to plug in. I'm gonna have to plug in those really quick. Oh man. That's a good call. So I'm gonna have to plug in, I gotta move this, I don't wanna have to move it down, but I guess I should move it down for you guys a little bit. That would do it. Shouldn't stop it from starting. It did spin a little bit. Well, it's possible that it might think that it's gonna overheat, right? Like if it doesn't have a fan header on it, couldn't that prevent it from starting? I don't wanna invest, actually, you know what, I just wanna plug one in. So we're just gonna do that. CPU fan. So it goes into the second one there. And we're just gonna leave these off to the sides. Although I think it doesn't matter. Some of you guys might be right. It might not matter. So we might not get a post. Where are we at here? Is this the right way? No, that's not the right way. Come on, it's so hard to plug this in. There we go. All right, I'm just gonna hold these and let them fan and do what they want. Shouldn't stop it, should just show warning in BIOS. Yeah, you're probably right. So I need to figure out where we went wrong and trace it back. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do that. Oh my goodness, today. All right, let's get into the 9070 XT. Get our power hooked up. All right, let's give it a go. Attempt. Numero dos. Go down a little bit. That's true, but there's an AIO in there, an AIO option. All right, hopefully these don't hurt me. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, these fans are spinning. So obviously I just don't have the fans connected anywhere else. It's possible it was still going through memory training. AM5, in my experience, has been the worst, the absolute worst as far as memory training. It takes forever. So we'll give it a minute. I don't really want to hold these though. Come on. I was hoping to not use this or break it. We're just gonna unplug these really quick before I cause more damage to this computer. Come out. There we go. All right, so that's not stopping it. It's still not starting though. So I'm gonna give it a minute or two, see if it's going through memory training, because the first time I tried to use it, I remember it took a really long time too. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm thinking that bent pin might have something to do with it. I'm very sorry. It did pause you. Oh, is the fan not plugged in all the way? There it was. It just wasn't plugged into the SATA controller. Okay, you guys, I think it's memory training. And you know why I think that? I think it's memory training. Look at the fans, and I'll try to get close so you can hear them. I think it's memory training. If you've built enough PCs, you know that like it's an indicator if your fans are full speed. That means that your computer is going through memory training, and then whenever they slow down, that's usually an indicator that it should start. I need to move this over a little bit and move this. Try 1 stick of RAM. Yeah, I might have to do that next. But I think it's still memory training. I think it's still going full speed on me here. Do I not have the GPU plugged in or something? Well, friends, I think it's still memory training, so it could take a minute. So, you know what? You guys are gonna get to see it before I will. I'm gonna go ahead and sit here and talk for a minute while we wait on this. So I guess, you know, what do you guys want to know? I guess I could tell you how I got into PC building if you don't know that story. And you're probably going to see this go to a post before I do, or it's going to get stuck. This is usually where Google would come in handy, or the internet. Some of you guys are anti-Google. If it's the pins, you might be able to fix them. I think so. I don't know if it's the pins, though. So I've never dealt with trying to build a PC with bent pins before, especially on AM5, because everything else, it just won't go in. So if it's just constantly ramped up like this, usually I think that's memory training, but it could be something else. It could be those pins. What does the internet say? Are fans spinning and no post sign of bent pins AM5? Memory training, bad BIOS, loose powers. No, that's not right. I'm looking this up as we speak here. It can prevent booting. So it's still ramped up, you guys. What do you think? Do you think I'm going to have to try and fix them? Because memory training takes a really long time on AM5. I know that it does. Like, annoying long. If you've never done AM5, like, it's very frustrating how long it can take. So it's very possible here that we are dealing with bent pins. Try the RAM first. I'll try. We can see if it's the RAM. We'll try out the RAM. Let's see if that helps. So we went down to 1 stick instead of 2. It's also good that I find these things out. Like, I'm getting to do this on stream because this is the one I was going to give away, and I haven't used it in 3 or 4 months. So if it did happen to have bent pins, whether it whether it's from now, I pulled it out before, whatever the scenario might be, it's nice to know that, because I wouldn't have wanted to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to give this to you guys, and then found out I had to buy something new, and I needed time to get it in. Dang. I think it's the bent pins. I think, because we're not getting it here. So the only other solution is to pull that stick out and put this one in first. Maybe I can bring you guys a little closer to me here. I also just wanted you to be able to see the post if it did. Did you clear CMOS from prior use? I did not. We could try that. Although I'd have to take out the GPU. But it was the 9600X. Would you have to clear it if it's the same CPU? Let's try. The GPU is not plugged, probably. It should be. Unless I accidentally pulled out the... I mean, the GPU hasn't been firing up, I don't think. Oh no, which one did I not use? Let's try this one. All right. Is that the right slot? Yep, okay. I'm thinking it's. I'm inclined to think it's the bent pins, guys. Although the GPU hasn't started up at all, but it's plugged in. It's in the correct slot. Interesting. Yeah, I'm thinking, I'll try the CMOS really quick. You think it's definitely the bent pins? I think it is too. I'm guessing that it is the bent pins, because if it was memory training, I think it would be done by now. If it was the memory training, I think it'd be fixed at this point. Oh, all right. Okay. Bring you guys back down. You got any giveaways going on? Not at the moment. Not anything new. Not anything new, my friend. You're a big fan. I'm glad you're a big fan, but I don't have anything going on at the moment. Not like the computer fan. There you go, buddy. We'll try the CMOS battery, CMOS, however you say it, really quick, and see if maybe that'll work. I'll just pull it out while we do this. Yes, a motherboard with bent pins. I'll have to look up how to do that. Maybe I don't know if I'll try to unbend them today. Maybe we'll do that on stream another day. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow, because we've got to figure this out. No, it's definitely getting power. Ooh, this sucker is hot. It's definitely getting power to the GPU. I think I need to refresh you guys really quick. I'm behind on this. Oh my gosh, it's 3:30. How long have we been streaming? 2 hours? I did not realize it was that late. I've got to get out of here soon. Okay, I am the world's worst at getting these batteries to pop out, just so you guys know. Oh, there we go. That one was pretty easy. So if you've never done it before, there is a little battery in there called a CMOS. Dang, my wife is texting me. All the kids are asleep and they're staying asleep. Sometimes if you're having problems pulling this out and letting the computer sit for a couple minutes can make it fixed. 20/20 vision is a must on bend pins.
Any recommends for a 1K build? I don't know that I have anything that like is solid for a 1K build, but at 1K you could probably buy used really good, or if you want to buy new, you can buy new, but you know, you're gonna get what you get. You could probably get more out of a used build than buying new. So we're gonna let this sit for a minute, put the battery back in. If that doesn't work, maybe tomorrow we'll spend a stream trying to unbend pins, because we'll just troubleshoot this thing tomorrow. I can't do much more today. I've got to get out of here soon. And we'll find out together if I have ruined this motherboard CPU. Yeah. Hold power, reset the drain capacitors. Oh, okay. Air type. Are you talking about like an air type cooler? I'm also wondering if, I don't know, maybe it does need a motherboard update. Like I said, I haven't used it in a long time. Okay, let's try that, see if it works. Yeah, I wouldn't waste your money on a DDR5 build. Personally, I wouldn't spend the money on that yet. Oh yeah, I've got to put the GPU back in. Let's see if we can get this bad boy in there and get this thing powered up. I can smell the thermal paste getting cooked on there. So I'm assuming that it is attempting to work. That's my assumption, though. I could be wrong. All right, we'll give it a shot after that. If not, we'll have to try to do this tomorrow. And maybe we're going to spend a stream trying to unbend pins and see if we can make it work. If not, if you guys are in the giveaway, I'm going to have to get a new motherboard for you. Maybe a new AM5, or maybe a new Ryzen 5 9600X as well, which does suck. But again, I'm not going to punish you guys for something that happened. So it is what it is. It is what it is. When you are a small YouTuber, you know, so I like giving PCs away because I know how expensive it is. And when I started giving PCs away, I had a lot more money. I'm kind of broke at the moment, if I'm going to be honest with you guys. But, you know, it was something I decided early on that I wanted to do for the channel because, you know, I grew up poor my whole life. I know what it's like to not have, to go without. And I wanted to be in a situation where I could potentially help other people. You know, just have some kindness if I can afford it. And even in tough situations, you know, I want to make sure that that's something that the channel can do and be a part of. If you guys don't know, like, I'm actually going to hold a rock, paper, scissors tournament for a 4790K computer that I'm going to give away probably in the next couple weeks. I have an actual business that's actually profitable that I'm waiting for some clients to pay me in. And once they do, I need to buy an SSD for it and pay for the venue. Once those two things are done, we're gonna host that tournament. So, like I said, something that I wanted to try to do. Just made that decision. Yeah, so we're gonna give this an attempt to see if the CMOS doesn't clear it. We're gonna troubleshoot tomorrow. We'll jump on and do probably a shorter stream, I assume, but I say that it might be longer. Pull you guys up a little bit here. All right, we've done the CMOS battery. Let's see if it starts.
Will Lizard Spock play be allowed? Yeah, I don't know what that is. But probably not. I don't think it's going to post. I think I had to force that in there. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. So tomorrow we will be attempting to unbend AM5 pins. I have not done that before. I've unbent AM4. I've done AM4 before. So we're gonna find out how well that goes, which is also gonna be crazy because this was building a PC with chat choosing. So someone's gonna click on this video, get all the way to the end, or maybe they just like skipped and they're like, "What happened? It didn't start." And I'm like, "Well, you should have watched." But here's where we're at, guys. So I think we're gonna call it there for today. Tweezers, yes, I need to get some tweezers. The last time I used a box knife, or not a box knife, I used a pocket knife and I unbent it on a Ryzen 750 800X, and that was very challenging. I'm gonna have to see if my wife has some tweezers that I can borrow though. So yeah, we're gonna call that a day, you guys. I'm going to kind of just record an outro for the people watching from YouTube, like not the live stream, and then chat with you guys for a quick couple minutes, and then we're gonna get out of here. So we ran into some snags today. I think we may have had some bent pins in the Ryzen 5 9600X, but I really have to say I appreciate chat just coming in, helping build a computer. Tomorrow we're gonna have another stream where we just attempt to troubleshoot why it's not running and hopefully not have to buy another motherboard. But I do appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Again, consider signing up for the membership. Otherwise, yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. Like I said, we will do another video where we attempt to troubleshoot this if that's something that you're interested in. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Awesome. And again, I'm back to you guys now in chat.